Alrighty, you guys, what's up? We're here on day of recording. It is the first day of the 4.5 year celebration for Twisted Wonderland, so that's live in game right now as we speak. Different couple of things happening today, so we'll go over bit by bit, and we'll include the links to these pages in the description of the video if you want to check out the news. You can find it both on the Twisted Wonderland website or in the in-game news section as well that pops up when stuff comes up, or if you see it on the main screen, there's like a little, looks like an envelope type looking thing. That's where you can find the news as well in game. But anyway, we'll have all these links in the description of the video, and then we'll go over the basic part that wasn't covered in the last video, the new functions that are here day of, and of course the first set of the showcases that are here for the Book 7 rerun. But anyway, so the 4.5 year celebration runs from July 21st, 4 a.m. through to August 8th, 11:59 p.m. Logging in 5 times during the promotional period outside of the regular login bonus will allow players to receive up to 100 gems along with other, as it says, useful items. It's typically things like not like the lesson items. Sometimes it's the ascension candy. Sometimes it's like the level up material or the vignette and card level experience items. So different things, but you get a couple gems for just logging in outside of what you were gonna get your regular login. So that's always a nice little extra to have. And we have the 4.5 year celebration bundle. So we have three types of bundles. We have the gold, silver, and bronze bundles. Each one is pretty much available once. The gold bundle will cost you 1,000 paid gems. You get one Celebratory Magical Key of the SSR variety, which is pretty much good for any of the allowed ones, but it's pretty much good for any SSR of your choice. You get 3 Tenfold key sets for the Lord of Malevolence rerun showcases, which is a bit of a misnomer here. It's technically not even a misnomer. It's actually more like a mix-up, if you want to call it that, depending on how you choose to distinguish things. Because the Lord of Malevolence Showcase was what was the name that was given to the Book 7, was both the name of the Book 7 Showcase, or just Book 7 in general, was called the Lord of Malevolence. And then the Lord of Malevolence was the name that was also given to the Overblot Showcase from Alias. So each one could technically be referred to as the Lord of Malevolence. But for the sake of these bundles, it is just the ones that we are getting as the Book 7 rerun showcase. So right now it's Cerberus Gear Ortho, General's Armor Lilia, and Evernight Armor Sebek. And then as we go along the next about 2.5-3 weeks or so, we will be getting the remaining showcases for Book 7 as well. So we'll get like Trick King Cater, Chef Trey, Merform Jade and Floyd, Savanaclaw Rook. We'll get all those different ones that we get throughout. But anyway, so you get 3 of those Tenfold key sets, 5 bottles of starshards, and 25 lesson skip tickets. We get all those for 1,000 paid gems. And then for the silver bundle, that is at the cost of 500 paid gems, we get 1 mysterious magical key for the SSR. So that's basically just where you go into the showcase section, you use that, and you, instead of getting one of your choice, you pretty much just randomly get one, which not necessarily a bad deal either, unless you're going specifically for someone, in which case it's a little more of a gamble. But other than that, you do also get two Tenfold keys for the Book 7 rerun showcases, along with the same 5 bottles of starshards and 25 lesson skip tickets. And then for the guaranteed SSR showcase that we have here for the 4.5 year celebration is pretty much It runs a little bit extra just because it's that kind of like weird timing of things that they end up lasting like a week after the kind of event duration. So these will go through to the end of August 15th, 11:59 p.m. And the SSR just basically includes the dorm uniform. So we have it for heartslabyul, savanaclaw, octavinelle, scarabia, pomefiore, ignihyde, and diasomnia. You can purchase the bronze, and then the bronze model you can technically get twice. Once via free gems and once via paid gems. So it's not a bad deal. If you're going for just a couple extra tenfold key sets here, it's not necessarily bad. So at 150 paid gems or 200 free gems, you get one Celebratory Magical Key for the SR, one tenfold key set for the Book 7 reruns, and then 5 lesson skip tickets. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, we don't quite get any indication of what the SRs are. I haven't checked the shop in game, but I'm assuming if it doesn't include the event ones, it's most likely just like your standard SRs. So it'd be the ceremonial robe and the labware. But we'll patch that information in after the fact. But for now, we'll keep things moving. And for the kind of last main bit of news that was available yesterday, we will have 4 sets of the Book 7 rerun showcases. So right now, from July 21st through to July 25th, 11:59 p.m., we have the rerun. Might even be the second or third, honestly, but we have a rerun for Cerberus Gear Ortho, General's Armor Lilia, and Evernight Armor Sebek. After that, jumping from July 26th through to July 30th at 10:59 p.m., we have savanaclaw Rook, the Khazar, I think is how you would say that, Sultanate Kaleem showcase, and Merform Jade. Set number 3, we do have from July 31st to August 4th, 11:59 p.m. we have Merform Floyd, Ivory Cliff Ruggy, and King of Tricks Cater. And then to finish things off, from August 5th through to August 8th, 11:59 p.m., we have the rerun for Royal Chef Uniform Tray and Dawn Armor Silver. Now, one of the more important bits to remember here, especially when it comes to these showcases, if there's something you are going for that isn't immediate, and you're getting your the bundles from the shop, you would do well to save up those keys and gems or whatever you're going to use up until those showcases actually drop, because as we see right here, the SSR gauges are counted independently if the showcase duration differs. So what that more or less means is that the pity is all shared right now across the 3 showcases that are currently in effect. So if you have those shop bundles, we have 1, 2, 4, 7. So we have a total of 7 tenfold keys if you get all the bundles that are available for this. So you would, excluding your own keys and gems that you have separate from that, you could theoretically have 7 tenfold key sets to use for these 3. And if you get lucky enough and they come home early, the pity doesn't reset. So let's say you use 20 on Ortho, then you can use the remaining 50 if you want to try doing 2 and 3 or 3 and 2, or however you want to split those up. You could theoretically pull on each one and still have that same pity rate that's going. But while that is true, we do have unfortunately, depending on how you choose to look at it, but what happens is that once the duration swaps over to the next set, that pity will automatically reset back down to 0. So even if you had built up 10, 20, 30, however much you had built up in pity, will automatically go back down to 0 once one set is over and it moves over to the next. So if you are saving up for a specific card that are coming from the Book 7 rerun showcases, make sure that you know when to summon, just so that you don't build pity on something that's gonna unfortunately reset and you'll have to start over from scratch. Like if we were to pull for any of these guys, we already have these 3. We're missing Kaleem from set number 2. From set number 3, we're missing Ivory Cliff, Roogie, and King of Tricks Cater. And then from set 4, we're missing Royal Chef, Uniform Tray. So objectively, if we were to try and summon from, we'd kind of be fucked in a way, just because we would have to go from set 2 to set 3 to set 4. So this would unfortunately kind of be the one where we wouldn't pull for. Like at best, if we really wanted to, the one that would make the most sense for us is to go through in set number 3, just so we could potentially work the gamble of getting both Ruggy and Cater out of this. But if we were to try and get all 4, we'd just save up everything and go without the sake of potentially saving up for the future overblots and the birthdays and Halloween event. We would kind of be fucked on that account. But anyway, yeah, so if you guys are pulling for any of the Book 7 rerun characters, make sure that you know when their pull window is available, just so that you don't accidentally get screwed on building pity that resets back to 0 once it swaps over to the next one. And then in the 4.5 year celebration shop, we basically ended up getting the April Fool's items. So we now have the Black Blast Cycle that is available for 10,000 tall marks. The Magical Monitor is available as well for 10,000 tall marks. And the Plush Malleus is available for 7980 tall marks. That kind of covers the main one, so now we'll move over to the new functions right here. We can... There we go. Gosh. Anyway, that's unfortunate. Anyway, so here, these all basically kick off as we are already recording day of. This basically is already set. So what we have available here for us is the new functions for the 4.5 year celebration that is live. So we have stories. Charging, the amount of time charging to advance in the main story takes will be shortened. Charging. I assume it refers to the things like the battle map points and stuff like that when you're in book 6 and 7. I can't imagine there's not much else that would apply to. The amount of time charging to advance in the main story takes will be shortened. That's the only thing I could think that means, honestly. I'm not 100% sure. And then in auto, added a feature where the first option is selected by default during auto mode. That's just basically for the dialogue options. Home screen settings, background, and sort/filter settings are now automatically saved. That's actually not bad. Pretty simple for the most part. Nothing. It's just kind of minor QOLs, quality of life. Quality of living. Either way, either I believe is correct. But yeah, just kind of minor QOL updates. It's not really anything like big. That's usually waived off until the full year anniversary stuff. But again, this is all kind of a few minor things here and there, but it's not anything negative per se. It's all kind of better stuff for the most part. For the third is we have the event filter. So the following event filters have been added: selecting a card in the home screen settings and guest room and invitations. That's honestly pretty good, just because it'll allow like quicker jumps like that. And then we also have card upgrading. So Groovifying cards. If the conditions for groovification have been met, a symbol will now appear on the groovification tab. Bonuses added to uncapped SSR cards. Once a card is uncapped twice, it allows for an enhanced buddy bonus. Buddy bonuses will be enhanced for SSR cards that have been uncapped twice, so that's kind of good for us in certain regards like that. Lesson outfits. When a new card is obtained, you can set it to either a lesson outfit or card outfit by default. Applies only to cards obtained after this update and visuals. We don't usually change that part, so that doesn't really matter for my sake. Battles. Spell effects. The spell effects icon will now be displayed while attacking. You can change the spell effects icon display settings in the following steps. Quill icon, settings, AV. Retry. You can now retry from the menu during battles. Event twisttunes. Twisttunes you played in the event will be added to the twisttunes page found on the bottom of the home screen during... Wasn't it already? Twisttunes you did not play will not be added, yeah. Selecting the difficulty setting will also be possible during the event period. Oh, that's good at least. Summoning, even if skip is selected, newly obtained SSR card animations will not be played. That's good. Not really something that factored in for me personally before, just because even if I didn't necessarily skip the results of like the Tenfold or any summons, I just kind of skipped the coffin animation once we get to the reveal of the color and the lights. But good to keep in mind for recording purposes later on. As well, we have mystery boxes, so depending on the number of tokens that a player has, they will not be able to tap a button to open 10 to 15 mystery boxes, 5 at a time, all at once. The guest room. New music tracks have been added to the room token shop. The following event and main story music tracks have been added to the room token shop. So we have Beanfest, Survival of the Bee Nest, Beanfest, Bean or Be Beaned, Twisted Wonderland 2, White Rabbit Fest, Stitch's Tropical Turbulence, Playful Lands, Miraculous Marionettes, Arcane Combat Drills, Cloud Calling on the Savannah, 3rd Anniversary, and 4th Anniversary. Then we have the viewable stories for Book 6 and Book 7. Music customizations will be unlocked at room rank 10. Some of the explanations in the room token will also be adjusted. Following changes will be made. You can now check the music tracks and the comfort level detail screen. Trash will now be easier to gather during cleaning. A series association option has been added to filter and storage. Required cards for card-specific character animations can now be viewed on the furniture detail screen. Crafter's Gauntlet. The schedule for obtainable reward materials can now be viewed. Game settings. Push notifications in limited time shops cannot be turned on or off. That's not bad. And last but not least, we have data download speed and app startup time improvements. So improvements in data download speeds, improvement in the amount of time taken from the startup to title screen, as happened this morning to most if not all players by now, depending on how you log in. Following the update, downloaded data will be migrated upon logging in after July 21st at 4 a.m. Then moving on to the last little bits and pieces here, we have the 3 showcases that are live as of time of recording. We have all 3 run during that first duration, so we have from July 21st through to July 25th, 11:59 p.m. Right now we have Cerberus Gear Ortho. At his vignette level 1, you get Cerberus Gear Ortho, you have the Styx frame at level 2, and the CBRS01 and CBRS02 furniture at vignette level 3. So Cerberus Gear Ortho is a defense type card with a Cosmic Spell 1, Fire Spell 2 that duos with Edea, and a Cosmic Spell 3. General's Armor Lilia, same duration, July through to July 25th. Vignette level, we have General's Armor Lilia at level 1, Briarland Frame at level 2, and Lilia's Mage Arm at level 3. General's Armor Lilia is an attack type card. He has a Flora Spell 1, a Water Spell 2 that duels with Sebek, and a water spell 2 as well. And last but not least, we have Evernight Armor Sebek. Same amount of duration, July 25th, 11:59 p.m. is when this ends. Vignette levels for furniture, Evernight Armor Sebek at level 1, Briarland Frame at level 2, and Briarland Royal Guardsman's Mage Arm at level 3. Evernight Armor Sebek is an attack type card. He has a water spell 1, a cosmic spell 2 that duos with Ortho, and a water spell 3. But anyway, you guys, that's going to be it for this one. We covered pretty much everything, I think, as far as the all the updates are concerned for the 4.5-year celebration here. So we covered pretty much everything that we would need. But if there's something we missed, just because as I recall, none of the stuff on the website listed what the SR thing, so unless that's a typo of some sort, I don't quite know what the SRs are. But if I had to just go based off the fact that the SSR is technically only the normal mode exclusive card, so it's just the dorm uniforms, it would stand to reason that it would be ceremonial robe or labware. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. So as always, thank you so much for joining. Feel free to share and like the videos, subscribe to the channels, all that good shit. Truly helps out and is appreciated. And if you are pulling for any of the Book 7 showcase reruns, best of luck to you. Hope they come home soon, and you guys are able to get all the ones that you want to get. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Signing off. Peace out.